Hello, in this lesson I am going to cover the advantages and disadvantages of Ripple compared to Bitcoin. So let's just write Ripple up here, not Bipple, Ripple. So we've covered what it is, how it differs to Bitcoin. So let's cover the disadvantages and the advantages. So the first thing we'll do is cover the advantages. So first of all, it was designed after seeing the strengths and weaknesses of Bitcoin. So the developers that created it were able to see what Bitcoin did really well, how it did it really well, its philosophy. They were able to see the shortcomings of Bitcoin, whether that was the philosophy or the technology of Bitcoin. And well, they've been able to see that. I'm not saying it's the ultimate system now, far from it, but they've been able to see that. Another thing I want to mention is this video will be covering Ripple, the currency, and the network. So the advantages and disadvantages will be generally for both. Another great advantage is any sort of, let me just do the T a little bit, any sort of asset can be transferred, which is great. So any sort of asset can be transferred. It has beyond currency applications, whereas Bitcoin is solely currency based. But if you're talking about transfer of assets, essentially other applications, then there are other cryptocurrencies based on similar technologies such as blockchain, compared similar to Bitcoin, such as Ethereum. So there are alternatives out there based on the blockchain foundation. So it's not blockchain has certain applications and then Ripple, let's say, has others. There are some blockchain implementations that can do what Ripple can do as well. Another major advantage is it uses less computing power. It much faster to process transactions, few seconds usually, which is obviously a big deal. So those are the advantages of Ripple. So what about the disadvantages? So the first thing is it's the newcomer compared to Bitcoin. And what I mean by that is just literally what I said. Because it's the newcomer, people will always compare it to the original cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. They will always say, why do I want to use this over Bitcoin? Whether or not there are advantages, they will always be saying that until, let's say, Ripple becomes really big, if it does, or Bitcoin is no longer around. So the fact that it doesn't have the first mover advantage is quite a big deal, especially at the moment, because it's the early days of cryptocurrencies and the future of the world economies, essentially. Bitcoin as a technology is now well proven and also well trusted by many people as well, because he was the original, even though he had flaws, because they've been showing that they're working on it, the community's been active. For that reason, it's been well proven. So that's another thing that sort of links in with the newcomer aspect or the newcomer disadvantage. The proof of work for transactions is not path dependent, which is what Bitcoin is. So in theory, and this is quite a scary disadvantage, in theory, someone or some organization with enough computing power could rewrite the past. And I don't mean they're going to go back in time and see dinosaurs and do this, but I mean rewrite the past of the ledger system within Ripple. So that's quite a crazy thing to think about, that something like that could happen, whereas with Bitcoin that really would not happen. You would have to hack it, whereas with this it's less hacking it and more just a system that they've got. So chance of this happening is unlikely, but it could. So for that reason, that's quite a big disadvantage. Another thing is Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies could pretty easily adopt Ripple's consensus scheme, which is what it uses for transaction verification. So it could pretty easily adopt it. So if that was the only, let's say, major advantage or the major thing that people want to use Ripple for, they could implement it. It wouldn't be a ridiculous amount of effort. And as a result, they would have that feature, they would have the well-proven ethos philosophy of Bitcoin, they would have a lot of users. So that's obviously a disadvantage to Ripple as well. And that's actually an advantage to Bitcoin in general, because it is a first mover and because it is so large now. If there are certain aspects of other coins that are doing really well that still fit with the ethos of Bitcoin, actually even if it doesn't, they could still implement them and almost wipe out the competition. It is not democratic as it is not completely distributed. So we've got obviously all of these now. So what about some grey areas? So let me scroll down to here. There are some grey areas that I really want to discuss as well. So grey areas. So what are the grey areas? One, I've just mentioned this, it's not distributed. And a lot of people will probably watch this video if they know anything about cryptocurrency and say that's definitely a disadvantage. But I just want you to think about this for a second. Yes, it's a disadvantage from the conventional sort of philosophy of cryptocurrencies, but because it isn't fully distributed, it has a lot of similarities to the conventional. So it's like the conventional fiat banking system. And again, you might think, oh, that's a disadvantage. But again, from a certain point of view, from the general cryptocurrency point of view, it is. But for, let's say, the average person, they may be willing to adopt a service like this a lot easier and without resistance if they think it's very similar to what I've already been using. It's not a revolution, it's just sort of a step forward from what I've been using. So it depends on how you look at it. So from a core point of view, most likely disadvantage. From a user perception point of view, or for mass adoption, it could be an advantage. And at the end of the day, no matter how good these services are, if people aren't using them, people aren't adopting the service, it will not survive, or it will be pretty insignificant in the long run. That's a big thing to consider. So this has just been a video uncovering the advantages and disadvantages of Ripple currency and the Ripple network compared to Bitcoin. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. and I look forward to seeing you in my next lesson.